Welcome. I'm Jennifer from Pura Stainless, and we're going to be joined with Made Safe, Amy Ziff, founder of Made Safe, in a couple moments. So we're going to get situated here and invite Amy to a conversation with us. Let's see. She'll be coming on in a minute. So this is going to be a conversation with Pura Stainless and Made Safe. So thank you everyone who's joining. This is my first live stream, so probably everyone joining right now are pros. So feel free to send me comments, never do it again, or you did a great job, or whatever you want to say. So Pura Stainless is a Made Safe certified company. And we are going to have a conversation with Amy Ziff, the founder of Made Safe, and hear more about everything Made Safe is doing, and of course a little information about Pura Stainless and our products. For those of you who don't know us, we'll do a little introduction in a minute once Amy joins. All right, Julia, you were the first one on, I think. Thank you. Woohoo, I love it. Such enthusiasm. I really appreciate that. That's nice. So this was actually, I'll tell you a little information on this metal sign here. This was part of our very first booth. We went to the Outdoor Retailer Show, a B2B show in Salt Lake, and this metal sign back here was part of our very first booth. So that's a little Pura history for you. The booths are much more simple. That booth had metal and bolts, and I think it took hours and hours to set up. Those were the days. Anyway, now we can get set up a booth at a B2B or business to consumer show in probably, 30 minutes. So anyway, a little bit about Pura while we're waiting for Amy from Made Safe to join us. And Pura, if you don't know us, we are a creator, manufacturer, designer of 100% plastic-free feeding bottles, sippy cups, straw bottles, sports bottles. Really, we have products for the whole family, but we focus more on the juvenile products primarily. But everything is 100% plastic-free. So we are using only food safe stainless steel, food grade stainless steel, and medical grade silicone. So no plastic parts whatsoever. And I could tell you, since you're all here, I can tell you a little bit of why and how we started Pura. We started in 2008. In 2007, our youngest needed a really strong smelling vitamin supplement. And at that time, like most people, we just had plastic sippies for my 3-year-old. And so we started putting this vitamin supplement in, and it made all the plastic parts smell horrible, and we could not clean them. So I looked and I found glass bottles and some stainless steel bottles, but they all had plastic sippy spouts or plastic rings, and the smell got in those plastic parts. And we started researching and finding out more and more about plastic. This is a year before all the BPA information came out to the public, but a lot of that information was already out there in scientific reports, etc. So as we started learning about the dangers of plastic and started committing ourselves to starting this company, we chose from the very beginning that we were not going to make anything with plastic. No plastic parts, no collar on the bottle, only safe materials. So medical grade silicone and food safe stainless steel. All right, let's see. Have I missed Amy's request to join? No, I don't see that she's here. We might have to reschedule. Let's see. Anyone have? She's joining now. Okay. Awesome. So it looks like we'll be seeing the founder from Made Safe, Amy Ziff, here shortly. So I'll tell you a little bit how I met Amy. So in 2014, 2015, I started talking to the labs that we use. These are professional labs. They're recommended and approved by the U.S. government, by the CPSIA, and I started talking to them about doing further testing beyond what was required. I wanted to test our silicone for EA, for estrogen activating chemicals. I wanted to know not just that things passed, but I really wanted to know more. And they told me straight out, yeah, we don't have those tests and we won't be developing those tests because manufacturers do not want to know. And that was a really eye-opening and scary moment. And I thought, well, I'm a parent. We're making safe products for children. We know they meet all the European regulations. We know they meet all the U.S. regulations. But do we have really a full understanding of absolutely everything that's in I was concerned about the colored silicone in particular. I really wanted to know that that was as safe as the clear silicone. Anyway, here comes Amy. Amy comes to my booth at the Natural Products Show telling me about how they are going to start doing screening and lab testing. And at that time, they were just getting going, and really a science-based way of understanding the impact of your products, and that was really cool. So we were one of the first companies to be Made Safe certified, and so we had that confidence that not only do we meet all the regulations, but that we are free. At that time, they were screening for 80,000 known toxins, and to know that the products you're offering are free of all of those toxins is pretty cool. So we've been plastic free since the beginning, but Made Safe now does even more. It's all science-based, nonprofit. Check them out. Amy, the founders, can be joining any minute here in conversation with me so that I can ask her more questions. She can ask me questions, and we can answer your questions. I see Made Safe Headquarters says hi. Made Safe Headquarters needs to ask to join. So yeah, Amy, when I first spoke to her, it was like we were speaking the same language. We wanted scientific clarity on the safety of products. She of any products, and me of the products that I was offering. And I was so happy to get that scientific clarity. All right, let's see. Thank you for everyone putting these comments in. It really makes me not feel alone. I think I mentioned at the beginning, this is my first time doing a live feed, so, you know, just gonna laugh. All right, lots of waves. Love that. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. I think someone should throw out a question. Are you all Pura experts already? So how about we just talk about Pura's feeding bottles. So we offer a 5-ounce feeding bottle, and it comes with a slow flow nipple, and then we offer slow flow, medium flow, fast flow, and even a Y-cut nipple. And those are all medical grade silicone, and all the parts are available separately. So if you want a night out, go to the movies, and you want to pump or maybe use organic formula or whatever you do when you need that break, you can leave a bottle with your mom or your sister, whoever you're leaving the baby with, and get away for a few hours and know that they're nourished and that zero is going to leach from that bottle. So food grade stainless steel actually is classified as having zero transfer of elements. That means nothing from the metal is going into the liquid and nothing is staying on the metal from the liquid either. We actually take it a step further and do a polished finish on the inside, and that also makes it easy to clean and ensures that you're getting just a nice clean bottle every time. Let's see. All right. So I'm wondering if someone on my team can let me know whether Amy is going to. Oh, view request. There it is. How long has that been down there? Been down there. Sorry, Amy. Amy should be joining us here shortly. Yep, they're saying, can you accept her request? I did. I just did. There. Yay!
Oh, yay!
Sorry about that. How long was that request down there?
Yes, I'm so sorry for that. I was like, I can hear you. I'm here. I haven't figured out how to get my phone in two places at once. But
No
here we are. Thank you for
worries.
saying all those amazing things and telling the story of, how we met, how this came to be.
Oh, great. Great. I'm so glad to see you. I'm glad that you have a dog barking in the background because
Yes.
my dog is our office pet and I have sequestered her away. And anyway, I know people love dogs, but
Can you see me? Because I can't now.
I can't.
Okay, good. I
I can
can't
see you.
see
Some
myself.
of
Usually
the
I can.
messages, everyone's comments are over part of your face, but only part of your face.
That's okay.
You can't see
I'm
me?
not worried about that. Yeah, I can see you.
Oh, good.
And, it's July 2nd. Here
I
we are,
know.
Jen. This is a special month. It is
I know.
Plastic Free July.
It is Plastic Free July. How I have not said that yet is just a sign of the nerves. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you had a lot there. It never fails that when I do one of these Insta lives, there's a technical glitch, often on my side. But today I was just like, oh, she doesn't know where to look. It's hard to find everything, and you're focusing so much on giving good information, which you were doing. So yay, and it makes you feel a lot for like the hosts of network TV, like all that pressure,
Oh my
right?
God.
But we get to talk about something fun today. So we're going to talk about more about Pura and more about Plastic Free July and
Yes.
why people should not drink from plastic anymore, because it is so bad for you and it is so bad for the environment. And I think that I'll tell you a little bit about my story and then how we intersected, because I know, Jen, you were talking about, when we first met and what you were looking for. And I think I wanted to start Made Safe to help people find products that could help them live their values, make them healthier at home with their kids and their families. And in doing that, I was telling a lot of people about chemicals and all these things that they were encountering, and really was kind of a downer. It was just like nobody wanted to have a conversation with me because I was like, there are endocrine disruptors, and those are the chemicals that impact, your kids' brains and their behavior and your reproductive system and theirs, and all kinds of stuff,
Parenting
which sounds
and
scary.
parenting is overwhelming. There is so much information out there, and it's very easy for parents to get overwhelmed. So having a source that is science-based, that people can rely on and
Yes,
know, we don't have to wonder what they mean by natural.
right.
That we know what it means by Made Safe certified.
Right, exactly. Because eco, natural, clean, green, even, these are all terms that are not defined. So every company has to define it for themselves. Whereas made safe means something is made with safe ingredients. And that was what I wanted to share with people was, okay, there are these big scary things that do exist, sadly, in lots of products that we use each and every day that we spend good money on, but not in Pura Stainless, I'm very happy to say. And that was why early on, you've been a partner with us since really the very early beginning days. And thank you for that. This partnership means so much. But it also means that I don't have to take a water bottle that is maybe going to compromise my children's health outside of my house when we go through the process of filtering water. So we're drinking good, fresh water. Then we put it in our Pura Stainless, and, it's indestructible. It's awesome.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
but so that's how I came to it, because of my kids. And so did you.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Tell us.
we wanted safe products for our children, and it was clear that including plastic in a product for children wasn't acceptable. It wasn't acceptable to us for our family. And you know, the BPA issue came out. The public became aware in 2008, and a lot of consumers were just like, "It's BPA free now." And I, like you, was like, "No, no, no." BPA was not the only thing, but it wasn't easy to find products, and you know it's been hard, but now all these years later, with all the information on microplastics, and we're seeing the results of all those years of people using products with plastics, and now you know they're testing and seeing how much plastic particles infants have in them. There are choices. Pure stainless is one choice, obviously. I know zero plastic is the way to go, but everyone does the best they can every day, and reducing plastic, you know, is a first step. Plastic free July, doing it for all of July is a great step. Just whatever step we say, when you know better, you do better. So this is about education, and then you take the steps you can with your family. um, you know, we just want the information to be clear, scientific, true. So
Yeah.
Made Safe is a great resource for families.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's the thing. It Made Safe. It wasn't just going to focus on just the bottle or the snack holder, but also all the things that you're kind of interacting with daily, because those are where what we call chronic exposures come from. You know, you drink from a plastic bottle once. Well, to me, that's an environmental crime, because that bottle will live on hundreds of years longer than you, possibly thousands. So that one-time thing, that easy grab, is not so easy on the earth, but that isn't going to kill you. It's the fact that that water, drinking that all the time, it has tiny little, you already talked about it, the microplastics, the nanoplastics. There was just a study, in fact, talking about looking at the what those plastics leach into the water from the actual bottle, and it is measurable, and that means it gets inside of us, and we don't necessarily excrete those. Some of those plastics stay in our body. Some of those plastics are what scientists call obesogens, which are exactly what they sound like. They have the capacity, they are chemicals that have the capacity to make us fat. And they live inside our bodies. And those are just some of the motivating factors not to use plastic, not to consume from plastic water bottles. And Pura makes it easy to do that. But then it's all these other things in our lives. Like, people are always surprised when I connect the dots. For example, if you're using dental floss, you might not think about what we call the substrate is that is going into your mouth, which has direct access into your bloodstream. That can be a plastic substrate, but it doesn't have to be. There, you can use silk floss as one example, which is totally biodegradable, and you don't want it coated with plasticizing chemicals, because that kind of defeats the purpose. But I use that as an example because people don't realize how abundant it is, and where it may be found, sort of surprisingly, but it's so handy, and we have to fight that all the time and
Well,
say, how can I do
and with
better?
floss, great example, floss, how about the container that the floss is contained in?
Right.
I've seen paper packaging.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've seen a big move by a lot of manufacturers away from these plastic packaging, which is a huge source of plastic waste as well.
Exactly. People don't always think about it. It's what your products are being delivered in, either enrobed in plastic or the actual container itself. And that too is measurable, and it builds up in landfill, and it's not good. So anywhere you can find a product that is coming in another kind of case or container, is package free. That is a real bonus. And that's why I think we're seeing so many stores that are based on refilling products are really increasingly popular, because you can bring your container back, you can refill it, and it's kind of like the water bottle that you refill, right? It's just that same concept, but you get to keep the chemicals out of your body and out of your home when you do that.
So Plastic Free July, back to Plastic Free July. I know that Pura has some blogs on ways to really make an impact this July and easy ways to change things in your home. And I'm guessing that MadeSafe has some great blogs
We
and
do as
information on the
well.
website too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just a shout out, we work with the Plastic Pollution Coalition. They too have it. And you can just Google Plastic Free July is another thing to do, and you'll get loads of ideas. And I would just say, don't be intimidated. Jen already said this, but to reiterate, start wherever you are at. And I hope you've made the switch to a pure stainless bottle. That's a great place, if not.
Yeah, right. Yes, so we do get questions from consumers. Sometimes we have a plastic-free medical grade silicone sport top in lots of different colors, and that is a MadeSafe certified product. And so there are questions on silicone sometimes, and it's because as a manufacturer, I can tell you, you have options as a manufacturer in the grade of silicone you use. Pura has always used a medical grade, a grade of silicone that passes all the EU testing, that passes all the MadeSafe certified screening. And so you just have to know who you're buying your products from and whether that's a trustworthy company. A lot of companies will make one level of product for the US because our regulations are just not as strict, and a different level of material for Europe. And that's really, we've always been parents making baby bottles and products for families. If we have a saying, know better, do better. So if we know there's a better material out there, we're going to use it. And that's my take on it. It means that I'm going to be able to keep my MadeSafe certification, etc.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to feel good.
It's,
it's the ethical thing to do.
I know, but it isn't what everybody does. I just want to point that out. People in this country, lots of companies don't have to choose to jump to that higher level, and that is exactly what sets you apart, stands you apart, and always has been. And it's not easy sometimes in this country. It's more expensive to produce a better product, but you do it because it's the right thing. And
yeah. Well, we feel really good about the durability. I agree. It's more expensive. Yes, you can get a inexpensive plastic or glass bottle at Walmart. Glass, will break, and there are other issues there. But the stainless steel, it really doesn't break. And we do a lifetime warranty on all the stainless steel components, and the medical grade silicone components are very durable, but we have replacements that are easily available as well. So we hope that you do get value. We really,
absolutely.
Yeah. Long time ago, we had a distributor in South America who owned a chain of pharmacies. And he said, everyone here has multiple children, and I don't have to tell them it's durable. They know. They're looking at it. It's stainless steel. The durability is sort of an inherent feature, but it's good to know when the company stands behind it too. I wanted to ask you, we're talking about, not all companies make these choices, right? What are your thoughts on the news that has come out just within the last week on the proposed class action against Philips North America, the maker of Avent baby bottles, and Handicraft, the maker of Dr. Brown baby bottles? There's a proposed class action over claims that they failed to warn parents that the bottles leached dangerous microplastics, and they knew that they did this. That's the claim.
I think I don't know enough about the very specifics of that lawsuit. So I want to be clear about that. I'm not talking about, any insider information or anything like that. But what I do think is interesting is that we've known for a long time about a lot of these chemicals. And when I say we, the science has been clear. And that means that companies that are working with these kinds of chemicals know
They know.
what they're using. And they're choosing to continue because that seems easier than making a more responsible choice or a more expensive choice. And that's got to stop. And I think that those lawsuits, the class action lawsuits, are part of the system being changed and shifted, because it's not going to be okay for companies to continue to use products that pollute us humans and that pollute our environment and make it so that we might not have a planet with a livable future.
And we've seen that in history. Sometimes it takes these big companies being sued for polluting a river, for, killing the whole biodiversity in the river.
Right.
And it takes that level to bring it to the public's eye and to get them to be more responsible about what they're doing.
I mean, I wish it didn't take legal action to get people to do the right thing, but sometimes that's just the way our system does work. And I hope that that is combined with more aggressive regulations that will shift away from chemicals and chemistries that are harmful. And so that we see a proliferation of better products, better options. And then, as an entrepreneur myself, what I think happens is then we have this necessity to create better. So we'll find the alternative, because sometimes you can't have a stainless steel tote bag, and like that doesn't necessarily work. It's not the right material for that. So what do you substitute out for that convenient plastic bag? Well, maybe fabric in some cases work, but where you have kind of a wet substance, people come back to plastic again and again. And until we have better viable options made from natural renewable sources,
it takes another level of commitment. And I think that the public now pays attention more to what companies are doing. And so that's good. It's a whole nother level of commitment. I have said, now we've had our Big Mouth Sport top made out of silicone for years and years, but it took us 3 or 4 years of prototyping, because at that time, silicone wasn't being used to make products in that way. Now you can find lots of products made out of silicone, but at that time we were really pioneering, and our manufacturing partners would say, we could just make this out of plastic. And I said, I'm sorry, we can't do that. We're plastic free. We're 100% plastic free.
You're missing the point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how we moved away from paint. And because we were using at the time what was the safest paint we could use. We only did this, I think, our first year that we painted some bottles. But the paint wasn't very durable. And at that time, other brands of sport bottles were growing, and they were, I said, well, what about the paint they're using? And they said, well, that paint is mostly plastic. So you can't use that more durable paint because it's plastic. And the public doesn't even realize they're trying to move away from plastic by using a reusable sport bottle. That's a good first step. But someday that sports bottle is going to go into the landfill, and if it's got a bunch of paint on it that is full of chemicals, so we take our steps. But if you're looking for another step in Plastic Free July, try a stainless steel bottle that doesn't have a bunch of paint or plastic components on it. So.
Well, and I love that one, because the other thing that I found when we were working with you was it made me start to look at all stainless steel bottles and snack containers, and I realized some are lined, so you need one that isn't lined with a plastic layer too. That's really important.
Yeah, I agree. So I know we don't want this to go too long. I think we're kind of at our limit here, but I wanted to encourage everyone and anyone that has more questions for Amy or for me to send the
Please.
questions, and we want to answer. We want this to be as educational as you all want it to be. So ask the questions if we didn't get to it, and hopefully we'll try this again now that I know
Absolutely.
how to do
Yes,
it.
and we will. We'll be here faster,
Yeah.
but it's the point that we're here and you guys are here and it's July and you can go deeper. And thanks for listening today. I hope you'll go plastic free.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Happy Plastic Free July.
Jen.
Take care, Amy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.